Okay, quick stream, really quick stream. First patch to KSP-2 has dropped, and I've got it loaded up, and I'm going to take a quick look and see if they fixed some of the things I noticed were a little wonky. So, you can see here that I am on version 0.1.1.0.21572. And let's get into the VAB and build something up. I glanced at the patch notes. It's massively long list, so I didn't get a chance to take it all in. I'll be reading those this evening, but I just got my hands on it, so I want to try it out. Typical thing. I'm going to drop my little orbital / bun transfer vehicle in and see what we've got. Going to deviate a little bit from my normal build. Actually, no. Let's get ourselves, where to go? Thermal. Shoot. There's our landing stuff. And below that, we're going to have something deorbit. Once again, YouTube is whining about not getting enough video. OBS is claiming it's streaming 10 megabits per second, so, well, we'll see. Separator, fuel, and an engine. And this is, what have we got here? 319 delta V. That feels about right. Okay, so separator. Toss some fuel on here. Okay, so this engine should be good enough to, okay, so delta V here is coming up with my vacuum delta V. That's convenient since this engine doesn't have enough thrust to get us lifted up. I don't see any display of, well, there's TWR. I get the TWR for the current stage in the engineer's report. Okay, so we'll just have to build it part by part. I take this guy off. Top stage 319 is enough for deorbit, and interesting that this thinks I've got a 1.4 thrust to weight ratio from this. Really? Is that right? That could be right. Okay, toss that guy on. And yeah, the 909 is not going to be enough to do much with this. This is enough to circularize. And let's see. Below this, I'm going to put a 7-tube asparagus stage. So that's going to be there we are, a swivel. So there's the stage that should be getting me to orbit after I've launched. Is this cumulative delta V? Not sure, since I am adding things kind of a weird order. Okay, it's not cumulative, good. It's just that I'm building each stage with so much more fuel. That's fine. Okay, so now we're gonna put some asparagus on here. Let's see, coupling. Boom. Okay, and interesting how it, by default, put the engines in the same stage as their decouplers there. Oh, because yeah, okay, I duplicated this, so it kept the stage number for the engine. That's fine. Let's see, aerodynamics. Let's grab one of these. There we go. That looks good. Now, I have had problems in the past with fuel lines. I'm going to put the fuel lines in last this time. Oh, need some air. So let's see. Control surfaces. Now, actually down here, I only want the one steerable engine. The other ones I'm going to use, where to go? The Reliant. I like the fact that I can edit this part over here while we're putting things together. So now we need to place it here. Get myself looking dead on. Oh. Tube symmetry. And I'm going to have to mess seriously with the staging when this is done. There. Okay, so all the engines go in the same stage. And those are probably in the wrong order. Let's take a look. Yep, these two are swapped. Or I could just plumb it in. Yeah, let's just plumb it in. So this is the first stage to go, so he's going to feed the second one. From here to here. And from here to here. Yeah, I saw this move a little bit. And from here to there. So eyeballing it, that doesn't really look right. I think it's confused. Okay, these numbers don't look like what I was expecting, so let's go launch this and see what it actually does in flight. Let's put in some launch clamps. Okay, the clamps need to go, I'm going to put them in the same stage as the engines. There. Okay, check staging. We're going to unlock the clamps, start the engines, and then those two are going to be jettisoned. So northwest and southeast. And that's northeast and southwest. And there's left and right. And then we have stage, engine, stage, final engine. Okay. Like I said, I expected, well, see, these are different numbers than what we had before. These should be a steadily increasing, like 500, 700, 900, and so on. Well, let's launch it and see what happens. Okay. Yeah, I didn't mean to set it up so high, but it works. So over here, we see in stage one, we've got all of our engines and all of our clamps, which are decoupler verticals. Fine. I'm going to point us directly up. I'm not even going to try to do a gravity turn with this thing. Let's make it happen. Okay, so we've burned a bit. I am seeing these come down in different rates, so we are getting some fuel flow. It'll be hard to tell until we get our first stage. Let's go to the first stage. Okay, so we've dropped the first stage. If the fuel lines had been working, all of these would now be back up to the top, and they aren't. So asparagus staging is still not working. Let's verify that. Okay, that one's on me. I pushed the space bar an extra time. So I noticed during that ascent that when we shifted from having an up button to having the orbital stuff, I lost control of the rocket there. I had to shift it again. So it's not transitioning correctly between SAS modes as we ascend. And I'm curious. I really have no idea what direction I just told it to go. 045. Okay, so this is kind of going northeast. Fine. You know what? At this point, I think I've collected the data that I was looking for. So they fixed a lot of things. I haven't looked through the list to see what they are. But the one thing that I was most worried about, which is the asparagus staging, isn't there. And I still saw no mechanism to have it notice my joystick, which they aren't even talking about that at this point. So I'm going to put KSP-2 on pause again until the next patch, where we can hopefully get the asparagus staging working properly. All done. See you next time.